Hello Bookish friends, welcome to another try a chapter video. Like I did in the previous years, I'm continuing to try a chapter from 5 books from my Goodreads TBR and decide if I still want to read them or not. In this month's video, I'm going to try a chapter of 5 thriller books. Thriller is the genre that I have the most number of books on my TBR. Although thriller is a genre that I want to read a lot, it was inevitable that I would revisit some of the books that I put on my TBR. And the 5 books are Human Remains by Elizabeth Haynes, The Couple Strip by Ulf Kvensler, The Exchange by John Grisham, It's One of Us by J T Ellison, and Presumed Innocent by Scott Turow. First book that I will try a chapter of is Human Remains by Elizabeth Haynes. I actually do not remember when I put this book on my TBR and who recommended the book. Looking at the title, I'm guessing this thriller is quite a dark thriller. That's all I can say about the book. I listened to the first chapter of Human Remains by Elizabeth Haynes. And in this first chapter, Annabelle goes to find her cat to the garden, and there she smells something rotting. As she tries to catch her cat, the smell gets more and more as she approaches her neighbor's home. And when it becomes really impossible to breathe because of the stench, she decides to go to the house and see if an animal has been dead there. As she comes closer and closer to the odor, going through the back door to the living room, she finds her neighbor's body almost decomposing and full of maggots in the center of the living room. And the second book that I will try a chapter of is The Couple Strip by Ulf Kvensler. This book won the Swedish Academy of the Crime Writers Awards Best Debut of the Year. I heard about this book from, I think, Audrey at Chapters and Converse. One of the reasons that there are so many thriller books on my TBR is because of Audrey, actually. I've heard that this book is quite exciting, and it is an isolated historical thriller mystery. I listened to the first very short 3 chapters of The Couple Strip. In the first chapter, we hear the radio communication between the ambulance helicopter which saved Anna from a snowy holiday resort, who seems to have strangulation marks on her throat. In the second chapter, we go back. We hear Anna and Henrik's conversation about postponing their vacation, but they have to ask their friend Milena first. And in the third chapter, we go back to the current timeline. We hear the transcript of the interview with Anna with the police. There, she admits that she came to the holiday town with Henrik and Malina. However, Manila was dead just yesterday evening when they parted ways. The third book that I will try a chapter of is The Exchange by John Grisham. This is the sequel book to the firm which I read about, I think, 3 years ago, and I quite liked that book. However, I heard mixed things about this one. That's why I decided to try a chapter of this book. I read the first chapter of The Exchange by John Grisham. In this book, Mitch McDare starts a new chapter in his life after 15 years in a new law firm in a new state. He works for mostly social issues and has represented 2 death row prisoners, although he has not been successful. And when he is asked about a third prisoner, Mitch has to accept this job reluctantly because the prisoner lives in Memphis and Memphis is full of memories for Mitch. The fourth book that I will try a chapter is It's One of Us by J T Ellison. And I've read that it is a thriller book full of twists, and I'm quite eager to try a chapter from this book. So I listened to the prologue of It's One of Us by J T Ellison. In this section, we are in the mind of the man who killed a woman, and he describes her last moments and how he saw her, and he kills the woman and decides to throw away the body by tying a rock, throwing the body to the river. The last book that I will try a chapter of is a first book in a series, Presumed Innocent by Scott Turow. I watched the adaptation of this book many years ago and quite liked it. So that was the reason I added this book to my TBR. I'm curious to know if the book is as good as the adaptation. I read prologue and the first chapter of Presumed Innocent by Scott Turow. The prologue is actually sort of like a opening statement of a prosecutor. And Rusty, our narrator, is a prosecutor. In the first chapter, Rusty and Raymond, who are both prosecutors, do talk about the death of Caroline, who has been working for them. Rusty insists that there has been no forced entry, and it is very, very likely that Caroline was killed by someone she knew. After listening to the first chapters of 5 thrillers, I am very, very certain that I will take out It's One of Us by J T Ellison from my TBR. I really did not like the writing style. I'm getting more and more used to quite fancy prose, but I really did not like such writing style in a thriller. I was a bit unsure about Human Remains by Elizabeth Haynes. The opening chapter was actually quite interesting. However, I thought writing had excessive details, which sometimes took me away from the main event. I have so many other thrillers in my TBR. I've decided to take it out because I just felt meh about it. I quite liked the first chapter of The Exchange by John Grisham. I was quite curious to know what happened to Mitch. I really liked the character in the first book because he was very, very clever. So it is one of the books that I've decided to keep on my TBR. I think I liked the first chapter of Presumed Innocent by Scott Turow a bit more than the John Grisham book. It had a better opening, and I quite liked the clear writing style of Turow. So it is one for the keep as well. The book that I liked the most was The Couple Strip by Kvensler. I loved how the story was told in different formats, and it was hard for me to stop at that section because I was very, very curious how Anna's friend has been killed. In total, I unhauled 2 thrillers from my TBR this month. Please comment down below. Have you read any of the books that I tried a chapter of in this video? And what did you think of them? If you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. As for Turkish word of the day, I'm going to choose human. Human means insan in Turkish, and insan is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.